Hello everyone, let's try that again. Sorry about the technical issues, but welcome back to Let's Get Heavy. We are going to start that completely from scratch. So this is episode 24 with the Heretic Order. If you are unfamiliar with the Heretic Order, they've a band that started back up in 2014. They've got 3 full albums. They've got the Evil is Rising, All Hail the Order, and 3. They've also played major festivals throughout the UK. Bloodstock, Hammerfest, HRH Metal, Breaking Bands, and Mammoth Festival, amongst others. But that's not all, folks. They've headlined numerous shows across the country and even opened for legendary bands like Soulfly, Diamond Head, Kill To This, and Exodus. That is quite an impressive feat. So, without further ado, guys, let's bring these guys in. They are waiting eagerly. Just welcome in. Heretic Order, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. We finally got there. Excellent. One win. Hey, we got there. That's the main thing, Connor. We got there at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So let's start that once again. So, Danny, can you tell us the formation of the Heretic Order and how the band came to be?
Well, we started in there, like you said, 2014. Although the first album was All Hail the Order, came out in 2015. And it was a completely different members of the band. We've changed. Actually, every album has been a change, and hopefully this is going to be a stable lineup. But things happen, and it's difficult to get the people to commit. So yeah, 2015 was our first album. Then 2018 we did the Evil Rising. In between, as you said, we did lucky enough to get loads of festivals and good gigs. We did a double supporting Exodus in the Underworld in Camden, and even we did a European tour with I Am Morbid, which is the singer David Vincent, and they were playing all the Morbid Angel old classics. We did the whole European with the Profundis as well. So yeah, we've been lucky enough that we've done loads of stuff. As well, the coincidence, that's where I met Claudio. We played with his band then Legacy, another European tour. But all this stuff we did, and until the dreaded COVID. So we paused for the while, like every other band. But at the same time, we started. I remember the day that we were sent to a week before we were sent to lockdown. We hurried up and went and did the drums for the album 3 in a studio in Kingston. So lucky enough, we had the drums, and we managed. I managed to do that album practically at home whilst we were doing the COVID.
Oh,
I did guitars, bass, and it was at the same time. Around that time is when Kona came in the band. The bass player, was second bass player, had to leave, and so Kona came in the fold, and we started doing loads of gigs. We did the H&H Viking. We did the Birmingham metal H&H. We started doing gigs when things were hotting up. The drummers and guitarists left, so it was back to square one. And then we've been lucky enough. We found Jamie and Claudio, and we started last year. We did the rock trip in Ibiza, and we did some festival in Spain. That's another story. But we started doing gigs, and then here we are.
That's amazing.
We are. Our next project is we've just done a couple of acoustic songs that we've never done an acoustic with Heretic. We all recorded live with Will Meyer, which has done our albums before. Which anybody can see the single video that is out on our socials, our YouTube channel. and our plans now, we are composing and getting new gear, and our plan is to get a new album of the Heretic Order and get new music out. It's heavier, uglier, more satanic, more gory.
That's what we
It's
want.
gonna be brutal, but yeah, we are in the process of recording this. Well, and then we'll have a fourth album, and then we'll be able to go and tour properly and do our stuff.
Nice. So as you touched on,
I told you more or less the story.
so as you've touched on that this is not the original lineup. So how did you meet Jamie, Connor, and Claudio? How did the three of you guys come to be in the band?
Connor, I knew from previous bands. He had been. I do sound engineering in London, and I've done sound for Connor's band, and I knew he was a kick-ass bass player. So when we needed the bass player, we asked him, and we auditioned some other guy at the same time, but Connor was the guy to do it, and that was it. And he got into the band. Later, then the drummer left, and I knew Claudio because we had done a European tour with his band, the Heretic Order and Legacy. We did some dates in Holland, Germany. That was around 2020, I think. That was the year before
2018,
COVID.
I think.
Was it? I remember it was a bit before COVID, and then it just
19 for sure.
we were looking for
18.
Yeah, 18. Okay, he must not remember more than me. So I approached Claudio, who didn't have a band at the time, and bingo, like he came, we tried a couple of other drummers, and we thought Claudio was the better one. So he joined in, and then once things were hotting up, then our guitarist then left. It was like, again, the curse of it's like a Hammer House of Horror movie, The Curse of the Heretic. They should do like a new movie. And then we just put adverts, and we met Jamie through adverts.
Right.
And when he came to the audition, we just kick off really well. We were talking about the same bands, our same likes, and we thought this guy knows his thing. He was shredding, doing his guitar thing, and the rest, now we are getting together and planning for a new recording.
So for Jamie, Connor, and Claudio, when Danny approaches to join the Heretic Order, was it an easy decision for you? Or is just to say, yep, this is what I want to be part of, because it's kind of your vibe and music sort of thing?
Yeah, as Danny had mentioned previously, that I'd known him for years, and so when he approached me, obviously I checked out the other stuff because I had some personal issues at the time, so I was kind of out of the music scene for a little. But yeah, so obviously went and checked out All Hail the Order and Evil Rising, and I was like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I want to do. So yeah, went and did the audition, obviously, for the band. Got on with the guys at the time, and it was as simple as, really.
Yeah. What about yourself, Claudio?
For me, it's been quite straightforward because being touring together, being in the same tour bus, going around Europe, the man, and we are too similar to take far. So once they asked me, it was just a yes. I didn't even thought about it.
Didn't no thinking about it. That's when you kind of like that, and you just no thinking, just straight away. Yes, I'm there.
Yes. It's been just for me, it was a yes from the beginning. Then I had to wait them say yes to me. So it's a two-way door.
Nice one. Nice. And Jamie, because obviously you've gone through the advertising type role, haven't you? You weren't approached. You approached the guys yourselves. How did that go about?
In a way, yeah. I mean, Sam Wallace, a friend of mine, actually got in touch and saw that the Heretic Order were looking for a guitarist, and he's a mutual friend of Danny's.
Yeah, it's true.
And then basically I just went for the audition. Danny's done sound for a lot of my other bands as well, like previous bands in and around London. And then from that, it just jammed, we gelled, and yeah, it was cool. We played IB for the one after, and yeah, which we'll go on to later. But
did you like listen to the band's previous stuff before you approached the sign? Like
yeah, I knew the band beforehand, so I knew a lot of the stuff already. I knew of the Heretic Order before I joined. And yeah, and obviously I'd heard of Breeze 77 before, and then the Heretic Order kind of joined from that. So yeah, but I love the songs. The songs are amazing.
Yeah, nice one. What? We're getting some sort of loud background noise.
It's weird. Gremlins.
No ideas what it is. But so, how did you? What? Basically, what's inspired the band's name, the Heretic Order?
Well, for a long time, I've been toying with the idea of I was in Breed already when I started like thinking of I wanted to create or do be in a heavier metal band, you know, and I'm a big fan of horror movies and history, so I've always been I'm kind of like of pagan beliefs myself, so you know, the Heretic Order, heretic is a person, heretical, you know, like it doesn't conform with a normal creed or religion, like example Christianity, for example, which I am not against, because everybody should do whatever they want, but I don't I think they're hypocrites in the whole history of the upcoming. I'm not going to go in history lessons now, but I really wanted to. It was a heretical kind of idea. All the songs, if you read the lyrics, they have loads of stories about the massacres and of the Crusaders or the persecution of witches. So everything goes around the oppression that the church created. So heretic is the most common word, and the order is the band, you know, the Heretic Order. I used that name like for a while, and I like the sound of it. As I say, it really goes with aesthetics on the whole storylines of the songs and the message of not message in itself to people, but kind of storytelling, kind of stories. That's what I believe lyrics are and songs are, like little stories. So yeah, whoever like checks our lyrics is about all the atrocities and stuff that's been going on in history.
Yes. So, sorry. Let's talk about the 3 albums that you've got out at the minute. So, All Hail the Order, Evil Rising, and obviously the current or the latest 3. How would you describe the evolution of your sound and themes throughout these records?
Well, I believe they've been getting heavier, uglier, and kind of more nasty lyrics. At the beginning, like, to be honest, the first album was a bit of tongue-in-cheek, like a very kind of, I wouldn't say a joke, but kind of a house of horror, very 70s, 60s orientated, image-wise, and the whole concept. I used to have a kind of different attire, and everything was more, even the music was a bit more like Sabbathy, kind of more heavy metal. And I think in time it's been getting heavier, like in lyric content, storytelling, and the music, obviously. Like it's the third album. You can see the second album, Evil Rising, just stepping a bit more, but the big step up has been 3, which has been really like kind of a more modern approach, kind of a more metal situation. And I tell you, people are going to be really surprised. Well, whoever digs the band, the 4th album is going to be just another step up. And I could say that we even entering territory of black metal or death metal, you know, like even, I mean, with whoever listens to our albums, it's a dictionary of an encyclopedia, I would say, of metal styles.
Nice one. I mean, if you take a picture of the band from the first early days, Danny, without hearing the music first, with all the makeup and stuff, my initial thought was this looks like a black metal band. There's something.
Yeah.
This looks way different to Breed 77, because like I say, I saw pictures first, and I'm thinking, this is Danny's gone black metal. Oh, this is different. But then when I heard it, I was like, oh no, this is not. This is more Sabbath, Merciful Fate sort of style. And then obviously I get it from there with the horror aesthetics. Which,
but no offense, I'm not wanting to interrupt, but
go on.
you know, Merciful Fate and Alice Cooper and all this aesthetics of image was even before black metal existed. If you go back to 1980s, the thing is, some people don't understand this, and I was going to when people were, oh, you look like a black metal band, I'm like, no, like black metal bands look like King Diamond or look like Merciful Fate. It's the other way around. The thing is that younger maybe audience didn't get it, and I'm like, no, I'm not copying black metal or anything. This sort of style has been before black metal was invented. Venom, you could say, was a music-wise was a punky kind of version. You know, the music wasn't black metal. They invented the name and the image, but the music, like we think of black metal nowadays, the beginning was completely different. We could say it was black kind of punk. Venom was like Motorhead, and Merciful Fate was kind of a mixture of Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, but like with that evil element. So and Black Sabbath, you know, like so. Yeah, I definitely think it came more from that era, rather than black metal.
100% right. Couldn't agree with you more. To be fair with you, Danny. I think it's safe to say Venom definitely give that the kind of the birth of that sound sort of thing. But then when it came to the look, that was definitely come from King Diamond. There's no one can deny that hasn't come from King Diamond. He was wearing corpse paint before corpse paint was cool. So
and even before this, I'm a big fan of 60s music, and there's a couple of bands. It's 68. You have the band Coven and the Black Widow. They were English bands, and they were the first kind of Satanist, kind of horror metal bands.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to the music, and they even have flutes and that. And it's very funny to say this. Do you know the movie Rosemary's Baby?
I do not know, but I'll check it out after this.
It's a classic of Satanism, that movie. And part 2 is 1967. And it's the Rosemary's Baby is about the Satan. Lucifer is born to this couple, and the baby is kidnapped. And it's really good movie. I advise it to anybody that like horror movie. Go and watch it. So this Satanist sect kind of kidnap the baby, and that's how it finishes. Second bit is like the guy's grown up. He's a full grown up man, but he's like the son of Satan. And there's a scene that he's doing a party, and this is 1968, and the guy has the first corpse paint I ever saw. And the guy's got like painted white face with a cross upside down. And this is, this is a movie, you can check it out, 1970 movie, even before King Diamond. So this style, whoever's into horror movies will know more or less that this is not a new thing. This nothing is completely original. There's all everybody like influencers, let's call it influencers, or get the hits from some other stuff.
Yeah, totally.
I don't really think that black metal invented nothing of this. This already existed.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. How can you be original in this day and age? And it bands have been, I wouldn't say ripping off each other, but like you just said, influence, taking influence from other bands. It's been happening for decades, and it's going to continue for decades as well. I hate that term when you hear people say, oh, they're just trying to be like when Trivium first came out. If you remember when Trivium first came out, everyone just I'll just try to be Metallica, or they're just trying. It's like, who cares if it sounds good? Who cares? You know what I mean? That just means that's where their influence comes from, Metallica. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
I think it's that fine kind of borderline of, you know, when it's the whole kind of plagiarism and influence, where people are, you know, some people are saying where it could be like, you know, kind of plagiarism. They're trying to make something out of doing the same thing. But
No,
obviously, as, you know, as we both agree that it's much more of an influence thing, you know.
oh, that's it. Yeah. Whatever you've listened to, I mean, there'll be many bands that's inspired your bass playing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And you'll take and you'll have your own personal favorite bass players, no doubt, and you'll take kind of like what they've done and you'll make your own sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly, yeah, 100%.
So that's exactly, and that'll be the same for Jamie with his guitar playing, and Claudio for his drumming. You'll all have your favorite singers, etc. So it's not ripping or stealing. It's literally just taking influences, paying homage to your favorite artist. At the end of the day,
Yeah, completely agree.
Otherwise, you're a copycat.
You cannot win though, can you, Claudio? That's the thing. Can't win in this day and age. Everyone just thinks, you're just copying. Doesn't matter, so long as it sounds good. But hey, anyway. So obviously you've mentioned that a fourth album is on the way. You're currently recording it. Is that correct? Yep.
Yeah, we are started like composing songs, and we got a number of songs. We haven't tackled them yet, but once we start putting our teeth into it, we'll just plan. And the idea is all this is like just leads to the recording of the album. That's why in the kind of the live situation, we've relaxed a bit, knowing that that it's going to be difficult to tour with the last album when there's new members, and these new members are itchy to do the new mark. They put the musical signature in the music. So we've calmed a bit about like at the minute about like gigging or touring, unless something really good comes out our way. You know, like you cannot say no. But we want to concentrate and do a new album, a new music, and then the next chapter of the band. You know, I consider albums to be chapters like a book.
Yeah.
So this is the next chapter of the book.
So when it comes to recording with the four years, do you get together in a studio, or do you kind of just record and send pieces back and forward to each other?
Well, for now we're gonna we've been like I've been putting some songs and lyrics in it, and then we're just gonna go in the studio, rehearse the fuck out of it, and once we got it, then we'll go to the studio, and then we'll try to do it like although money wise and the logistically wise nowadays is very difficult, but
of course,
I would love to do the album like the old style. You know, you get like a month in the studio, and you just live there and do an album. Although conditions are different nowadays, and you rely on home recordings, who's got the budget to go for a studio for a month, you know, and just So, but we'll see bit by bit. Definitely, we're gonna record as much live as we can, and then the rest, when everything is live, but and then bits and bobs you can always like fix in home studios and stuff.
Nice. And yourselves, Jamie, Connor, and Claudia, we've be all obviously inputting your own sort of stamps on this, with your own musical backgrounds, so obviously from your bands as well. And you're saying you are going a lot darker and a lot heavier on this album. Would you all be chipping in with lyrics sort of thing, or is that just yourself, Danny?
And normally the lyrics is just me. I've always wrote on the lyrics. I mean, I'm open to ideas and seeing people, but lyric wise, it's all my twisted imagination at the minute.
Are you about to say something there, Connor?
Yeah, I was just going to say the similar kind of thing to Danny, where Danny's been the kind of main lyric writer of the band. Obviously, as he said again as well, that he's open to ideas. So far, we've been sending a couple of ideas for things to Danny, and obviously he kind of goes with that. And yeah, he says he's asked as well that if we have any kind of other ideas to add on to what we may have already, just to kind of give him a bit more of an idea of where we were going. But yeah.
I mean, but by the way I see it, like, you know, the signature of every player always, even if I'm doing the songs, but once they lay the drums and the bass or the other guitar, you know, everybody's unique style just complements the song, how it is.
The arrangement,
So,
yes.
So I have an idea and I do it in an idea, but naturally it'll go some other way, and that's the magic of composing. It's like you don't know how it's gonna end.
Yeah,
it's like I have never sculptured anything, but I presume like sculpturing a statue will be something similar. You have an idea, you start, and then you see when you finish.
So how will you be approaching the for the 4 years? Always feel free to answer on this one. How will you be approaching the songwriting process on this next album?
Well, loads of the songs are written already. There's we've got 8-9 songs, but once we start like I said, like jamming on them and actually things may change because that's the nature of the beast. That's how music works. And sometimes it's on the spur of the moment, you know, like you get a bit of inspiration of this or this hit of the drums or this note leads to another change and you take the song somewhere else. It's a surprise. This is a good thing. Music is a unique thing that you kind of like plan. Even if you plan, sometimes it sounds different to what you think is going to sound.
Yeah.
So it's always and this is the good thing. I don't know, other bands maybe are very meticulous, but I like to give everybody will have free input. Like once we start like doing the stuff, let's see how it sounds. But definitely the vibe and the songs are heavier for sure.
100%.
Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to hear it. So, what inspirations for I probably should have asked this earlier on, but what are each person? What is each person's inspiration to be a musician? What made you? What made you like? What was that one pivotal moment that said, "This is what I want to do"?
For me, it was when I was really young, and my dad would always play music from, well, obviously before I was even born, but when I was a child. And I think it was not in this realm of music, but Carlos Santana. And it was some of the, I can't remember what song it was, but it was just obviously the guitar, some of the guitar licks, and obviously his solo. And it was like, this is what I want to do. I want to create this kind of feeling. And then obviously, yeah, as time has gone on, inspirations have changed, or influences have changed, or added on to what I already obviously initially had, and obviously gotten heavier, just like our albums.
Nice. Well, but yeah,
pretty much the same, including Santana.
Nice. Nice.
But then, I've always been a prog guy. I love the 70s progs, like historic bands, yes, Genesis, King Crimson. Then I started listening to something a bit more distorted, let's say, hard rock, till heavy metal. I guess everything changed for my taste when I heard for the first time Iron Maiden, probably.
It's always is a downward spiral, isn't it? You always start like with like the softer rock, so and then later on in life, you.
So I went for something a bit more complicated, like Nevermore, bands like that. But my roots are always on the drumming of Phil Collins. Hey, Danny Junior. Hello.
We've got Danny Jr.
To get in.
That's quite all right. Well, we're on big screen for Claudio there, so I think we just missed him. Jimmy, what about yourself?
So my dad was a big influence on me musically. He played a lot of kind of rock and blues stuff. But then when I was about the age of 11, I found heavy metal. And from that's when I started learning guitar. Heard bands like Slipknot, and then Children of Bodom was kind of like the click for me. And same with like guitarists like Mick Thompson, more shred guitar players like Steve Vai and stuff. That was kind of the bit for me, really. And then I got into the more extreme metal like death metal and black metal, new wave of British heavy metal, which I've had experience of playing in a few bands around that name, and then some black metal and death metal. So it's more the extreme stuff I like, really, and I use that a lot in my guitar playing as well, and lead playing also. So
Beans, cool beans. So I take it that's Mini Danny. That's the future of this band.
He's been for a while outside, wanted to come in.
I mean, he's even been on one of the records. He's even been on one of the records before me.
Oh, nice one. Hey, that's the future.
He wanted to come in.
That's the future of music right there, folks. That's the future of music. So, guys, you've played some absolute notable festivals. You've played Bloodstock 3 times, Hammerfest, I believe, 3 times, HRH Metal, Breaking Bands, Mammoth Festival. How would you describe of the performance of these events and any standout memories?
I mean, the most I cherish, I remember like finishing the last chord of the song and like just looking across, because this is the last time we played in Bloodstock, and just as we were finishing, Judas Priest was starting. So from just putting the last chord and getting my guitar, looking up, and Judas Priest is there opposite, because we were playing in the Jägermeister stage, which is a little stage which is in the middle of the park.
Yep.
So from there you can see the main stage. The second time we played in the Sophie stage, which was really cool as well. But the last time we played Bloodstock, that I remember in my mind, just the last chord and then Judas Priest coming out. I'm like, okay.
Did you wouldn't have had time to put your gear away, or just put your head out the tent and just watch Priest?
Hopefully they'll have us again there in Bloodstock and keep on doing what we do. Like this year was really cool as well. We played before 2 bands before Jeff Tate, which was really amazing. You know, nice. They played the entirety of Operation Mindcrime.
Oh, absolutely love that album. Absolutely love that album. Jeff Tate is an absolute legend.
It was, and he played flawless. They played it to the notes. I was impressed because my job I work as a sound engineer too, and I thought like, wow, man, the sound was, what a sound they had.
Nice. Nice.
It was amazing. So yeah, we've had good experiences. And Exodus, when we played with Exodus, was amazing too. You know, like big fan of Exodus since I was a kid.
Likewise.
And hopefully, Soulfire. You know, we've been lucky, but hopefully we'll get like in festivals much for the next year. Let's see. But we need a new album. That's what we're working at.
Yeah, of course. That was going to be my next question. Have you got any festival appearances for this year?
This year, sadly, no. We haven't been because the album now already, like I said, like it came in 2022, I believe. No, 2021. Yeah, I think so. At the end. So I think we lost the train for festivals. You know, maybe we'll see us in some smaller festivals. But you actually need a product. You know, you need an album to be considered to play these festivals, unless you're a massive band, you know. But yeah, we like I said, we've got to concentrate in doing forget about playing for a while and concentrate in delivering the goods. Like
do you have a time stamp of when the 4th album could be?
Next year would be. I would love to do it next year. But you know how things can go.
Of course. Yeah.
Nowadays we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Many logistical things you have to have in mind, but hopefully next year. And hopefully recorded this year. I would love to. But
Any smaller shows though, just to keep things afloat, sort of thing.
any other?
Yeah,
We have one pretty soon. In April, I believe it is. In Crumlin in Wales. At the
14.
what was the name of the place? The Patriot, I believe.
Yeah.
And we're supporting another band that I know one of the guitar players of. It's through the guys of King Kraken as well.
Nice.
Got that gig.
Yeah.
And then we're possibly playing up in Newcastle.
Yeah.
September.
Coming to the
In
tune.
the middle of September.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
we're looking for stuff. We've got a customary Halloween gig we'll have already in London. But like I said, we're more concentrating in composing than gigging, you know.
Of course.
Because when you go to the stride of gigging, you have to put apart like the concentration of recording and learning new songs. And if we start gigging, we're not going to play new songs. We're going to be playing the old songs. So all our time and effort is going to be given to the old stuff. What we really need to do is a new album with the new members.
Of course. I understand. So, as you've touched on before with Exodus, you've had the opportunity to share the stage with so many legendary bands like Exodus, Diamond Head, Kill to This, and of course Soulfly. You even mentioned Morbid Angel before. Can you tell us what those experiences were like, and what impact have they had on the band's growth?
Yeah, it's all good. You see from first hand how bigger bands work and how they take how professional they are, you know, and it's always good to measure yourself with bands that have been doing this for a long time, and the whole setup, and it just makes you want to work a bit harder and going like, yeah, I want to do that. I want a piece of that pie too. So it's always been good, you know. Diamond is a legend band. Exodus, meeting Max Cavalera, like big fan of Sepultura back in the day, you know, Roots and all that. It's all legends, mate. And even it's Brian Tadler from Diamond Head, and we supported. Connor was there too as well.
Yeah, I get the vibes. Brian Tadler is just an absolute gent. I would love to meet
He's
Brian.
now playing in Saxon.
Is he? I did not know that.
Yeah, he's actually Diamond Head is been shell put in ice, and he's joined permanently Saxon as a guitar player.
Wow. Oh, well, that's news. Didn't know that one. Thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah.
At some point last year, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's been official this year. This year is when he decided to be permanent member. But he did some shows last year.
Right. Wasn't aware of that completely.
Yeah, apparently Paul Quinn, which is the founder member of Saxon, he's retired because of health reasons. That's what I read. That's
understandable. Cool.
Yeah.
I absolutely do adore Saxon. Saw them a few times at Bloodstock as well. Absolutely amazing band. I love what they're doing with Amon and Moth as well. That video that they're doing with Amon and Moth, that Viking song, with Vikings versus Saxons, absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Just the way it works, is just fantastic. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So, what have been some of the biggest challenges you've faced as a band, and how have you overcome them?
I think one of the biggest ones, as we mentioned earlier, where we released the third album just before Jamie and Claudio joined. So I just joined at the end of the lockdowns. I think it was Halloween at the end of the lockdowns, the first Halloween after the lockdowns. And then, so obviously started pushing the third album. And then, as Danny mentioned, you know, both the drummer and the guitarist at the time ended up having to leave. So it's just trying to kind of pick the ball back up again and make that kind of movement, I believe, is one of our biggest kind of, you know, hurdles we've had to overcome. But
no worries, I'm here.
It's quite a one big screen for Connor at the minute.
Bear with me a second. I'll be back in a second.
Just do your thing, Danny. It's quite all right. Go on, continue, Connor.
Yeah, so I believe that was I believe that was one of our biggest hurdles at the moment. It's just kind of getting this ball rolling again, you know, and starting fresh with a whole new lineup, bar Danny, of course. Yeah, and obviously writing the stuff and recording towards the next album.
Cool. Jimmy, what are your thoughts? What do you think's been the biggest challenges throughout the band?
It's not really any challenges. I mean, I joined the band early last year, actually, so it's nearly been a year. But not many really. I mean, we played Hard Rock Hell in Ibiza last year, as Danny was saying. We supported Jeff Tate of ex Queensryche and played Operation Mindcrime and all that, which was really cool. And played with a few other bands in other parts of Europe. And then did some other bits here and there. But well, from that question, it's probably a better question, possibly for like maybe Daniel or Connor to kind of answer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what about for yourself then, Jamie? What kind of challenges have you faced in yourself as a musician? And
COVID had a big effect. COVID was I think we can all agree here. It really screwed everything up for music and bands and all performing arts really.
Of course.
For gig wise, I mean, I was in a band at the time where we were meant to be doing quite a lot of stuff, and then COVID happened, and we were like, "What do we do now?"
Yeah.
It was a bit of a struggle in a sense.
Yeah, of course.
Pushed through and just went through like that. And I think with music these days, it's hard to sell records. Streaming is such a big thing now. You make money, I guess, if you can make good money from it, from live gigs and merchandise. So you have to kind of treat it like a business more than anything these days. Like your own business. So I guess that's the kind of a challenge, but you have to adapt and just keep moving forward with the times, really. So yeah.
Nice one. And what about yourself, Claudio?
My biggest challenge, I guess, personally, was when my previous band split up. It happened in the early 2019, I guess.
So not just before, around the COVID time, then was it?
It was before, but that led me to basically don't play with any other band for as long as 4 years. I mean, I didn't have even the will to do it. My second kid was just born, so let's say I had a sabbatic period, let's say, and how I overcome thanks to Danny and the guys, because if it wasn't for them, probably I would have still waiting or just playing for myself with my electronic drum kit, getting frustrated for not what I would like to have in my life all the time. So yeah, that was my biggest challenge, and the guys are how I overcome it.
Yeah, and obviously, like you just said, with the help of the other lads here as well, you've smashed that, haven't you? So, and you've got a good group of lads here as well. So, even better. Oh well. So obviously the band is pretty much based within the London area. How has the London metal scene influenced your music in both of terms of sound and overall atmosphere?
I mean, sound-wise, to be totally honest, zero. You know,
You are the sound man, so you know that.
The London scene it goes in stages. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's really flat. You know, like after COVID, sadly we lost so many venues in London where bands were playing. The Unicorn, the Lounge, I can remember loads of them just closing, and suddenly there's a vacuum of no venues or clubs, you know.
Yeah.
And especially in the West End, we used to have like the Borderline, the Crowbar, all pubs, metal pubs, the Big Red, and everything closed. And suddenly you realize that there's nowhere to go for the metal community in London.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, I am lucky enough that I work there. There's the Cart and Horses, which is the birthplace of Iron Maiden.
Yes, the legendary Cart and Horses.
Of venues that have arisen after that and taken the place of those places, but they haven't hit yet the level it was before COVID. And I'm not blaming COVID or anything. It's just circumstance, because at the same time you have the crisis of all this money-wise bills all up. So we've noticed that London has, the guys can tell you, has gone very flat. We still got the Devonshire Arms and other places, and the community of metal goes around there, but it's nothing to do with what it used to be.
Just, yeah, you see, you've still got the music, you've still got the people, you've just haven't got the venues to perform at. That's the problem. And Newcastle is no different. We've lost a few venues over the time as well. Again, can't blame COVID, because probably just the cost of living as well. We just heard word the other day that the Bobbix within Newcastle is closing down, which is it's a cracking little venue for smaller underground bands. It's got a cap around between 60-80, but when it's full, it's a cracking little venue. Do you know what I mean? So that's one venue down, which who's next? I don't want to say it. We need the venues to stay open. We need to support live music.
No one.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Anyone who is watching this live, please go out and support live music. You are the ones who you keep these venues open. So if you can get the chance, please pack these venues out as much as possible, because we need live music at the end of the day. It's
yeah, right. That's true. What I think is happening in the UK is what's happened in America, in the States, a while ago. I remember back in the day, we were touring with Machine Head, and the Machine Head guys telling me back then, that was around the Empire of Ashes album, and they were telling me that in America, like, or you are a big band, or you play arenas and you are really packing places, or then run-of-the-mill bands, you play places with no stage, and because there's no in-between venues. And that sadly is what's happening in England, in UK, I think.
Yeah.
The in between, the smaller venues, like you mentioned before, 50 cap, 60, 100 cap, they're folding because they cannot keep alive. And yeah, you have the O2s and bigger venues in the underworld, but starting bands cannot command cannot get like 500 audience wise. So that is like really killing the underground scene, like not having smaller venues.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Danny. Couldn't agree more. And that's the thing as well with the places like the O2, the academies. They're not willing to take a risk on a smaller band because they're not going to pack it out as well, are they? So it's a bit of a catch-22, which is an absolute shame. Which is why, in turn, we need these smaller venues. We need these smaller venues to try and stay open as much as possible. So again, for anyone who is watching live, please go to your local shows. Just try and pack out these venues as much as possible, because we need live music. I need live music for definite. So please pack them out. Just And to be fair, these smaller venues, you'll not meet a better community. I guarantee you'll not meet a better community. Everyone is always really nice. You'll have a laugh. You can even have a bit of a crack on with the bands as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just support live music. I really do appreciate it. Oh,
Definitely.
yeah. So, what do you hope? Because we're getting close to my end of my questions. What do you hope listeners take away from your music and your performances?
I think it's very theatrical. There's a lot of theatrics to our live shows. I think the lyrical themes that Danny writes have a lot of meaning to them, and if you listen to all the albums, as Danny said, they're all pretty different, have a different sound, and they do get slightly heavier. With the newest stuff, when we do at some point start playing them, it will probably add a different twist to maybe the live shows, and yeah. So,
anyone else? Well, how about this, right? How about this? Each year, because you've all obviously at this lineup, you've all done a couple of shows with this lineup. So, if you could describe a Heretic Order's live performance in 3 words, what would they be for each man?
3
Satan.
words.
3 words.
I would say ugly, filthy, hellish.
I would add loud.
Loud. Anything else, Claudio?
They say we're very loud, yeah.
To quote a friend of mine from one of his recent videos, for more Satan.
Yeah.
That's Satan or Santa, because it's the same guy at the end of the day. Just change a few words.
Like, Satan has been taking the wrong publicity. The church had a lot of money, so they didn't have much money to promote how good he is. Really. Name Lucifer means bringer of life.
He's our friend at the end of the day. He's our friend. Yeah.
Guys, he brought us light.
What about yourself, Jamie? What can you describe 3 words on a live performance?
Satanic, evil, brutal, and we play very loud as well.
Well, yeah, even adding a 4th there. And what about yourself, Claudio? You give us 1. You said loud.
Yeah, I would say violent. And if I talk about myself, I would say sexy.
Yes. Someone's got to bring the sex appeal, Claudio, and it's got to be you.
Somebody in the band has to.
You are the handsome one of the band.
Yes.
So, like I say, we are very close to. So, before we do pass it over to our live audience, lastly, is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers and your fans before we pass it over to them?
Well, if you can go to our YouTube page and watch our latest acoustic song that we've never done an acoustic song. I think we've been very brave. Like not many bands experiment with acoustic thing. I'm less a very metal band, you know. And we actually added the cello. It's got this really dark dimension to it. So give it a try, but don't get used to it because the next album is going to be brutally heavy. But this is just a little sample of just showing that we can experiment musically and we're not afraid of going acoustic.
Basically not afraid of going diverse and changing things up from time to time. And with this acoustic album, it will keep you as nice and warm while you wait for the brutal stuff. Anything else for Jamie, Connor, Claudio? Do you want to say anything else that you want to share with viewers?
Thank you for your support so far for the fans. For anyone else viewing, as Danny said, check us out on YouTube. Obviously the albums are on Spotify and Apple Music, free feel to download or, stream or whatever it is you prefer, or even buy CDs. We also have vinyl for the third album as well. And obviously merch. So if, for the fanatics of vinyl, like myself, we do have the third album.
I have purchased it. It's just awaiting arrival from Merch Bar, unfortunately. So that's the only thing I've got to wait for it to arrive. But yeah, I've got the nice red vinyl. Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, good things come to those that wait.
Well, that's it. Exactly. And Jamie, Claudio,
I would add just talking to the people that is listening to us. If you like the band, if you are interested in seeing us live in your town, just spread the word as much as you can, because as many people is interested in us, as many times we can come and visit your town and play for you and meet you and have a drink, have a chat, and just entertain you, entertain ourselves, and have a really good night all together.
Very well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. And lastly, Jamie.
Yeah, just to come out to live shows. We've got obviously the gig coming up, what we mentioned. We're looking at possibly getting some more shows, possibly more around this area, if not like somewhere else in the England, or possibly even Scotland, maybe, if we can look at doing stuff up there. But yeah, if you can come to the shows, come down, because we put on a pretty evil show.
Nice.
Always good.
Nice. Well, guys, it's time for the real questions. The viewers who are watching live, they're going to answer the real questions because I just answer shit. But while we're waiting, so whoever is watching live, if you can use the ask a band question, please, using the riff tokens or the channel point redemption, please, because otherwise it gets missed and it'll not get answered. So while we're waiting for people to type, quick little question for you guys. Guilty pleasures. Who's got guilty pleasures? Time to own up. Here's the time and place. What's your guilty pleasures?
I can say I've got pleasure, but I'm not guilty.
Well, I mean, what song? What song would you say? I'll tell you what. I'll open up with it. S Club 7. Reach for the Stars is ours. Right.
I can love any kind of music. I mean, I listen from jazz, John Coltrane, to, let's say, I don't know, Slayer. I mean, all in between. So it's all a pleasure, and I love it. So that's why I'm not guilty.
Nice.
I will never feel guilty.
Excellent.
I mean, if I have to say that, I like Boney M.
Nice.
My guilty pleasure, and
I love
the worst is
from
I went to see them live.
I love the groove.
Yeah.
But I'm a drummer. It's understandable.
Yeah, similar for me with the bass, Earth, Wind and Fire, and I mean that's Earth, Wind and Fire, and soul, Motown, and jazz is all the kind of stuff I grew up mostly on. But I wouldn't, similar with Claudia, I wouldn't necessarily say I have a guilty pleasure musically wise. If anyone was to ask me what my kind of taste would be, it would be the kind of likes of stuff that DJ Cumberband does on YouTube, or there's another channel called Bill McClintock,
right,
with the mashup kind of stuff. So, for example, there's two of the tracks that this Bill guy has done. One of the tracks is a mashup of Club Tropicana, I think it's called, by Wham, with I think it's Death Ensemble, or is it War Ensemble? I can't remember. One of the Slayer songs is either War Ensemble or Death Ensemble. And then there's another one where it's I think it's a Ball of Confusion by Temptations matched with Suicide Messiah by Black Label Society.
Nice.
So, yeah, as I say, across the board for me, musically wise.
And Jimmy, your last. I'm getting vibes that you like a bit of Bewitched, Jimmy. I don't know why.
That is my time frame. I'd say 80s music.
It is.
Like
80s pop sort of thing, like Duran Duran, that sort of thing.
not really Duran Duran, more.
Different tonight, mate. There's nothing wrong with Duran Duran.
I guess so. I'm trying to think. Maybe something like, I don't know, like the hair metal stuff. I mean, some people do find that slightly cheese, but because I've always been an extreme metal guy. So
Right.
that's kind of my. I'd say that's my guilty pleasure.
But from time to time, though, you kind of need to mellow out. I'm quite an extreme metal guy as well. That's why we listen to S Club 7, Reach for the Stars. I can see you laughing, Connor, but it's 100% true. We've been doing this stream for almost 3 years, and every night we end the stream on S Club 7, Reach for the Stars. Guaranteed. Just for the giggles. Ooh, we've got a question from Formaldehyde. So this is for each member. If BeardBo asked you to put a song in the playlist, what song would that be? Other bands, so not your own. So if you each had to pick a song for a playlist,
Playlist.
well, just if any song, if you had to pick one song for to play after, because once we finish tonight, I'm not finishing. I'm going to continue. I'm going to be playing some music afterwards. So 4 songs, and I'll add them into the queue.
I'll tell you what, Merciful Fate, Come to the Sabbath.
There we go. Merciful Fate, Come to the Sabbath. Who's next?
Trick everybody.
I've got one.
Everybody, and I will go for Close to the Edge from Yes.
Close to the Edge from Yes. Classic.
Yes.
In Your Face by Children of Bodom, I'd say.
Rest in peace, Alexi.
I'd go for a London local band called Locust, spelt with a K, and their song Guiltless.
Nice. Well, we'll get them added in right after this conversation, of course. Anyone else got any questions? Just one question? If no one's going to ask the traditional Newcastle question, I'll do it. What is your Greg's order, lads?
See, I'm more of a Wenzel's guy, Steve. It's going to be a bit of a... I don't know if they said it at Greg's, but it's like a Southern fried chicken sandwich.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for... I'm simple. I'll go for steak and kidney pie.
Yeah, steak bake. That's the way to go. What about yourself, Connor?
Probably have to be
pizza.
The Greg's Pizza? No,
probably.
No, not pizza for me. If I can choose something, I don't know, some seafood, whatever it is.
It's all just like baked products. Yeah, they don't do seafood at Greg's. It's all pastry. Yeah.
For myself, it would probably be a childhood favourite is the 2 sausage rolls. When they used to do the deal for them, at least anyway, back in the day.
Yeah, good old sausage rolls. Kind of going around with a Greg sausage roll.
Well, actually, to add to that, maybe what is it? Is it caramel custard donut?
For me, anything with HP sauce.
Yes. Get in. Oh, we've got another question from Norse Redneck. If you had one album that you could listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Just one.
Just one. One album that you can only listen to for the rest of your life.
I'll go for Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast.
What was yours, Claudio?
The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from Genesis. Because it's long.
Yeah. For me, it's Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast. That
Nice.
is pure metal.
Definitely. Classic album, that.
Yeah.
I'd go a bit more relaxed with Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
And finally, Jamie.
It's a bit of a trend going on here in this interview, but it'll probably have to be Are You Dead Yet by Children of Bodom.
Nothing wrong with that. It's an absolute fantastic album. Oh, we've got another one. We've got Forza Crush. What country would you love to perform in that you haven't performed in yet?
Well, I've got an
Personally,
answer.
or the band?
Just yourselves. Yeah, yourselves as the Heretic Order. If you could play one country that you haven't played yet that you would like to.
We need to go to South America.
South America?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yes.
I would mention Central America as well, as some of my heritage is from that way. So,
Well, when I say South
Central
America,
and South America.
really I meant Mexico. But yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
That's South and North
beside
America.
Belize.
Depends on what. I think it depends on the generation who you talk to and where you're from. I think I've heard that there's a different education system where they teach whether Central America or South America. So obviously, some places they'll say South America is anything that's south of the United States, and then some places will say like that area is Central America, and then as soon as you get to the landmass of like Chile and Paraguay and all that, that's South America to other people. Yeah.
So this kind of question kind of birthed a couple of weeks ago when we interviewed a band called Trend Kill from Newcastle. How do you guys like your toast?
Burnt.
Burnt. You like it black, like your metal.
Yeah, not that one, but well done, well done.
Well done.
Yeah, well done with that.
Medium for me. Thanks.
Medium for yourself.
Yeah.
This actually took on quite an in-depth conversation for almost 20 minutes about toast. And
So, yeah, probably well done with salted butter.
Russians.
Push the boat out with cheese and beans.
Nice. Lurpak. It's got to be Lurpak though, isn't it? Got to be Lurpak.
Yeah, Spencer stuff, yeah.
Oh, wait. Of course. Did you answer, Jamie?
Yeah, I just said jam.
You said just simple, just jam. Sorted.
Jam.
So we've got formaldehyde. So you've been doing pretty good as a band. Are there any certain things that you guys really look forward to in the future?
Touring and doing festivals. I mean, we'd love to tour with a big name band across Europe, a month on the road in a tour bus. That's what I want. That's what we want.
That's what we want.
Yes.
Maybe formaldehyde. Maybe one day we can get them on our festival, Get Heavy Fest. Maybe
Yeah,
one day.
contact us.
Let us know.
Yeah, well, we're still.
Seriously, if we haven't played there ever, and I love playing places I've never played. So just contact us in our messenger, and if you're interested, we are interested too.
Oh, definitely. Excellent. So, yeah, we run a small little independent festival here in the northeast, just in Gateshead at Downcast Studios called Get Heavy Fest. We had our first year last year. Get Heavy Fest 24 is coming up in August. So, yeah, maybe for 2025, maybe we'll keep you in mind there. Oh, no, someone's disappeared.
We will love to play there.
Oh, there you go. He's back.
There we go. Just disappeared, but he's back. Champion. So yeah. We run smaller shows as well. So even if we can't get on Get Heavy Fest, maybe in the future for get you some shows here and then some more shows here in the northeast. Because we would love to have you here more.
For sure.
I think what everyone's done for the questions, I believe. So one last thing, anything that you wish to plug before we call it a night? Last chance.
Well, I've plugged it before, but people, our YouTube channel needs your help.
There we go. So
YouTube, social media, Facebook, yeah, all the good stuff.
You know how it works, and the more and the sad thing is, like, the more traffic you've got, the better chance you're gonna get good gigs around. So if you want to see us, just check us out. But seriously now, try the acoustic thing. You'll be surprised.
There we go. We'll put it in the playlist after we're finished with the lads. We'll put that acoustic song on. We'll give it a spin for everybody. There's no worries whatsoever. So everyone who is watching live, please hang around. We will be playing some tunes for you. So get your requests ready. To the Heretic Order lads, if you are not busy, and if you want to hang around,
and Jamie that got the contact.
So yes, I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jamie. Hopefully we'll see you guys real soon. Hang around in the room though, guys. Don't just jump out. We'll have a bit of crack on before we're call it a night. But yeah, everyone, hang around. We'll be back soon, and then I'll leave you with this. The rules of the pit are the rules for life. When someone falls, we pick them up. And until next time, guys, see you soon.
Always.